English podcast for beginners from listening to speaking easy English story episode, The Little Coffee Shop. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Easy English Stories. I'm very happy that you are here today. If you are learning English, remember one important thing. You do not need difficult words to become a good English speaker. You only need simple English, daily practice, and patience. Today, I have a relaxing story for you. Listen carefully. Do not worry if you do not understand every word. Just relax and enjoy the story. After the story, I will ask you a few easy questions to help you practice your speaking. Now, let's begin. Emma was 24 years old. She lived in a small town with her parents and her little brother. Every morning, she woke up at 6 o'clock. She opened her bedroom window and looked outside. The streets were quiet and the air was fresh. Emma loved mornings. She believed every new morning was another chance to learn something new. After taking a shower, she made a cup of tea and ate 2 pieces of toast. Then she walked to work. She worked in a small coffee shop near the town square. The coffee shop was not famous, but people loved it because it felt warm and friendly. The walls were painted light brown, soft music played quietly, and the smell of fresh coffee filled the room every day. Emma smiled at every customer. She believed that a smile could make someone's day better. One Monday morning, an old man entered the coffee shop. He wore a gray coat and carried an old leather bag. His hair was white, and his face looked kind. He walked slowly to the counter. "Good morning," Emma said with a smile. "Good morning," the old man replied. "I would like 1 cup of black coffee, please." Emma prepared the coffee carefully and placed it on the table. The old man thanked her and sat near the window. Every morning after that, he came back. He always ordered the same drink, 1 cup of black coffee. Nothing more. Emma became curious. One day, she finally asked, "Excuse me, sir. May I ask you a question?" The old man smiled. "Of course. You come here every morning. Why do you always sit near the same window?" The man looked outside before answering. "When I was young," he said softly, "my wife and I used to sit here together. We dreamed about our future while drinking coffee." Emma listened quietly. The man continued, "She passed away many years ago. But every morning, I come here because the memories make me smile instead of making me sad." Emma felt something warm in her heart. She realized that people often carry beautiful stories inside them. Sometimes, all we need to do is listen. The next morning, Emma arrived at work earlier than usual. She placed a small flower on the old man's favorite table. When he entered the shop, he noticed it immediately. "For me?" he asked. Emma smiled. "Yes. I thought your table looked a little lonely." The old man's eyes became wet. He thanked her quietly. From that day, they talked every morning. Sometimes they talked about books, sometimes about travel, sometimes about family. Emma learned something new every day. She discovered that life becomes more interesting when we truly listen to other people. Months passed. One rainy afternoon, the old man did not come. Emma looked at the empty chair near the window. She felt worried. The next day, he still did not come. After work, Emma decided to visit him. She remembered the address he had once written on a small piece of paper. She walked through the quiet streets until she found a small white house. She knocked gently on the door. After a few moments, the old man opened it. He looked surprised. "Emma, I'm sorry," Emma said. "I was worried because you didn't come to the coffee shop." The old man smiled. "I caught a cold, but I'm feeling much better now." Emma handed him a small paper bag. "I brought you your favorite coffee." The old man laughed. "You are one of the kindest people I have ever met." Emma smiled. "No," she replied. "I just remembered something you taught me." "What was that?" he asked. She answered, "Every person has a story. Sometimes the greatest gift we can give is simply our time." The old man nodded. "That is true." And from that day forward, both of them knew that a simple cup of coffee had created a beautiful friendship. A few days later, the old man returned to the coffee shop. Emma was happy to see him again. "Good morning," she said with a big smile. "Good morning, Emma," the old man replied. "I miss this place." Emma laughed. "And we missed you." She prepared his favorite black coffee and placed it on the table by the window. Outside, the sun was shining. People walked through the town square, children laughed, and birds sang in the trees. The coffee shop felt warm and peaceful. After taking a sip of coffee, the old man looked at Emma. "May I tell you another story today?" he asked. "I would love to hear it," Emma replied. "When I was young," the old man began, "I wanted to become rich. I worked every day, from morning until late at night. I believed money would solve every problem." Emma listened carefully. "But one evening," he continued, "my wife asked me a simple question. 'What makes you happiest?' I wanted to answer quickly, but I couldn't. I realized I had forgotten what happiness really meant." Emma stayed quiet. The old man smiled. "From that day, I started spending more time with my family. We took walks together. We cooked dinner together. We watched the sunset together. And slowly I understood something important. Happiness is usually found in small moments, not expensive things." Emma looked around the coffee shop. She noticed a young mother laughing with her little daughter. She saw two friends talking happily. She watched an elderly couple sharing one piece of cake. Maybe the old man was right. Sometimes the smallest moments become our biggest memories. That afternoon, Emma finished work earlier than usual. Instead of going straight home, she decided to walk through the park. She noticed many things she normally ignored. A little boy was feeding ducks. An old woman was reading a book under a tree. A young man was teaching his little sister how to ride a bicycle. Everyone seemed busy creating small, happy moments. Emma smiled. Life suddenly felt slower, and somehow more beautiful. The next morning, Emma brought a notebook to work. On the first page she wrote, "Today's beautiful moment." Every evening before going home, she wrote one happy thing that happened during the day. Sometimes it was a kind customer. Sometimes it was a funny conversation. Sometimes it was simply the smell of fresh coffee in the morning. After a few weeks, the notebook became full of wonderful memories. One rainy evening, Emma opened the notebook again. She smiled as she read every page. She realized something surprising. Her life had not changed very much. She still worked in the same coffee shop. She still lived in the same house. She still woke up at 6 every morning. But her way of seeing life had completely changed. She had learned to notice the little things, and those little things made every day feel special. The next morning, Emma thanked the old man. "You've taught me something important," she said. "What is it?" he asked. "You taught me that happiness doesn't always arrive in big moments. Sometimes it is already sitting quietly beside us." The old man smiled warmly. "I didn't teach you," he said. "You discovered it yourself." Emma looked out the window. The morning sun filled the coffee shop with golden light. Customers laughed together. Coffee cups gently touched the tables. Soft music played in the background. For a moment, everything felt perfect. And Emma knew she would always remember these simple mornings. Speaking practice. Now, let's practice your English. Listen first. Small moments create beautiful memories. Now repeat. Small moments create beautiful memories. Again. Small moments create beautiful memories. Now change one word. Small conversations create beautiful memories. Small acts of kindness create beautiful memories. Small smiles create beautiful memories. Now make your own sentence. Take your time. Very good. Remember, speaking becomes easier when you use simple sentences every day. The weeks passed quietly. Every morning, Emma opened the coffee shop before sunrise. She turned on the lights, cleaned the tables, and prepared fresh coffee. Soon, the familiar customers began to arrive. There was the teacher, who always ordered a cappuccino. There was the taxi driver, who drank his coffee very quickly before work. There was a young college student who spent hours reading books by the window. Emma knew many of them by name. One Friday morning, the old man arrived carrying a small wooden box. "Good morning, Emma," he said. "I brought something for you." Emma looked surprised. "For me?" "Yes," he replied with a smile. She carefully opened the box. Inside was a beautiful fountain pen. It was old, but it still looked elegant. "My wife gave me this pen many years ago," the old man said. I used it to write letters, stories, and dreams. Emma looked at the pen. I can't accept something so valuable. The old man smiled gently. I want you to have it. You love writing about beautiful moments. This pen deserves to keep telling stories. Emma thanked him with all her heart. That evening, she opened her notebook again. Using the old fountain pen, she wrote, "Kindness is never forgotten." As she finished writing, she realized something. The notebook was no longer just a collection of memories. It had become part of her life. Each page reminded her to slow down and appreciate ordinary days. A few days later, something unexpected happened. A young woman entered the coffee shop. She looked nervous. She walked to the counter and quietly asked, "Excuse me, are you Emma?" "Yes," Emma answered. The young woman smiled. "My grandfather talks about you all the time." Emma immediately understood. "You are Mr. Harris's granddaughter." "Yes," she replied. "He always says this coffee shop became his second home because of your kindness." Emma felt her face become warm. "I didn't do anything special." The young woman shook her head. "You listened. Sometimes that's the greatest gift anyone can give." Those words stayed in Emma's mind for the rest of the day. That evening, while closing the shop, she looked around the empty room. The chairs were quiet. The coffee machine had stopped making noise. Outside, the streets were calm. Emma smiled to herself. She realized something important. People often believe they need to do something extraordinary to change someone's life. But sometimes, listening carefully, remembering someone's favorite table, or simply asking, "How are you today?" can mean more than we ever imagine. The next morning, Emma decided to begin a new tradition. She placed a small sign near the entrance. It read, "Welcome.
Take your time.
Every story matters." Many customers smiled when they read it. Some even started talking to strangers. Little by little, the coffee shop became more than a place to drink coffee. It became a place where people felt comfortable, a place where people felt heard, a place where people felt welcome. Months later, visitors came from nearby towns, not because the coffee was the best, but because the atmosphere was different. People left with happier hearts than when they arrived. Emma finally understood something the old man had been teaching her all along. Kindness grows quietly, like a seed. You may not notice it today, or tomorrow, but one day, it becomes something beautiful. Speaking practice. Now, let's practice together. Listen carefully. Kindness grows quietly. Now repeat. Kindness grows quietly. Again. Kindness grows quietly. Now change one word. Friendship grows quietly. Confidence grows slowly. Hope grows every day. Now make your own sentence.
Take your time.
Excellent. Every sentence you speak makes your English a little stronger. Keep going. You're doing a wonderful job. 1 year passed. The little coffee shop was still warm, quiet, and full of friendly faces. Emma still arrived early every morning. She still smiled at every customer. And every evening, before going home, she wrote one beautiful moment in her notebook. One cold winter morning, the old man walked into the coffee shop once again. But this time, he looked different. His steps were slower. His hair was whiter. Yet his smile was exactly the same. Emma welcomed him warmly. "Good morning." "Good morning, Emma," he replied. "I have something important to tell you." Emma sat down across from him. The old man looked out of the window for a few seconds before speaking. "My granddaughter has invited me to live with her. She lives in another city. I think it is time for me to go." Emma stayed silent. She knew this day would come one day. Still, hearing those words made her heart feel heavy. "When will you leave?" she asked softly. "Next week." Emma smiled, although her eyes became a little wet. "I'm happy for you. And I will miss you." The old man nodded. "I will miss this place too. But most of all, I will miss our conversations." For a few minutes, neither of them spoke. They simply enjoyed the quiet morning together. The smell of fresh coffee filled the room. Soft music played in the background. Snow slowly fell outside the window. It was one of those peaceful moments that needed no words. The following Saturday became the old man's final visit. Many regular customers came to say goodbye. Some brought flowers.
Some brought small gifts.
Others simply shook his hand and wished him good health. Before leaving, the old man handed Emma one final letter. "Read this after I leave," he said. Emma promised she would. She watched him walk slowly down the street until he disappeared around the corner. The coffee shop suddenly felt quieter than ever before. That evening, after closing the shop, Emma opened the letter. It said, "Dear Emma, when I first entered this coffee shop, I came here because I miss my wife. I believed I was only holding on to old memories. But then I met you. You reminded me that life still had new friendships waiting for me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your kindness. Never forget that simple acts of kindness can change someone's entire day. Keep smiling. Keep listening. Keep writing your beautiful moments. One day, someone else will remember your kindness just as I will remember yours. Your friend, Mr. Harris." Emma folded the letter carefully. She placed it inside her notebook beside the old fountain pen. Years later, Emma became the owner of the little coffee shop. Nothing changed very much. The walls were still light brown. The music was still soft. The smell of fresh coffee still welcomed every customer. Near the entrance, the same small sign remained. It still read, "Welcome.
Take your time."
Every story matters. Many people entered the coffee shop every day. Some stayed for 5 minutes. Others stayed for hours. But everyone left feeling a little happier. Sometimes they never knew exactly why. Emma did. She knew that kindness was contagious. One smile could create another. One conversation could inspire hope. One small act could become a lifelong memory. And every evening, before turning off the lights, she opened her notebook. She wrote one final sentence for the day. Today was another beautiful day. Then she closed the notebook,
Smiled.
and looked forward to tomorrow, because she knew that every new day carried another story waiting to be discovered. Final speaking practice. Now, let's practice together one last time. Listen carefully. Every day is a new beginning. Now repeat. Every day is a new beginning. Again. Every day is a new beginning. Now change one word. Every morning is a new beginning. Every conversation is a new beginning. Every smile is a new beginning. Now make your own sentence. Take your time. Excellent. You're becoming more confident every day. Remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It is about practicing a little every day. Small steps become big progress. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this story, keep practicing, keep speaking, and never stop learning. Until next time, take care, stay kind, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye, my friend.